Can you hear me? I'm trying to set up the Facebook. Yeah, let's do it. This time around, I had a small interruption the other time, so let's do it now. Okay, I think we are good now. Wow. Hello, everybody. Yeah, finally, I'm here. First and foremost, I want to sincerely appreciate every one of you that is able to come back and join this live stream. I actually had this live broadcast a while, like few minutes ago, but I had a disruption and I had to just stop. And now I decided to have come back and just tidy up and make it very good and neat, because I knew that if anything is worth doing, is worth doing well. And I'm sorry, sincerely sorry for that small interruption. And so this afternoon, like I mentioned earlier, the subject of consideration for this very day 10 of our self-love September, the love month and the month of our bringing forth, the month of us growing as in love, growing in our momentum, and growing to becoming who we've always looked up to be. Thank you, Onbi, for joining. I'm so glad you're able to join back. And so, one of the things I want to quickly make clarity all about is the fact that every time we talk about the subject of motivation, there's no how you can remove momentum from it, regardless of any definition we have out there for what motivation stands for. I want you to know that everyone you have ever seen do anything, in fact, as a matter of fact, all the top 10 1% most successful people on earth, on the planet, the majority of them are occupying those space only because of this ingredient that we're going to talk about. And if you have ever seen somebody that you have loved to witness, you have loved what they do, you aspire, you admire them, you look at them from afar and you are so much jealous, or you are full of envy, or you just look at yourself and you feel, what is so special about these people, and you feel like you want to replicate the success they have in their lives. Friends, there is no magic. There is no magic anywhere. It is all about the subject of definition of subjects we are considering today. And so I welcome you. If you are able to come live at this moment, I appreciate your time. Please share this link. Please invite your friend. If you are able to, and if you are also going to watch it on the replay, I appreciate the fact that you are able to come back and watch this. And for everyone out there that have watched any of the days that we've started, I want to let you know that there is a playlist of everything we've been doing from day one till now. You can have access to them on my YouTube link. It's officially there. And I'm so grateful for every one of you that have been able to join so far. Thank you very much, Miss Folani. I'm appreciative of your time. Thank you for watching. And so, going straight to the point, to why we are doing this, I've already explained. And so, let me just do it as if we're in a class by defining what self-motivation is. I said self-motivation is all about momentum. And when we talk about momentum, it's emotion. It's energy that is in motion. You know, sometimes they define emotion. It's energy that is in motion. And for some of us that are chemistry or science background related, that have this, we know that there is no how you are going to explain energy or energy in motion that you will not remember Newton, Sir Isaac Newton, because there is a law in the law of science that talks about what we are defining this afternoon, that every object will always assume a state of rest and of a uniform motion unless it is acted upon by an external force. That tells us that by virtue, by as humans in life, we tend to remain of in a state of just mobility or just solitary if we don't have anything happening around us that's going to push us. And so most self-definition that you will see, self-motivation definition that you see, consider that you have an ability to do something that needs to be done without you being told or without you getting any approval from anybody. But we know that this is not the case. Most of the time, when you even see something that needs to be done, you always have that feeling in you that you can always go and do it later. It's like we are wired up in that kind of a sense that if nothing act on us to push us, we will just, and that is one of the things that causes change in life. If you have ever seen anybody that have changed or that's just suddenly and drastically changed, one of the two things that happens, because human beings, we don't change like that. It can't be a life happening that maybe life happened and something drastic happened to the person that just had to force and create a force that the person have to just change. So when it comes to self-motivation, it has to do with you encouraging yourself to do and turn all your should do to must do. When you look at your life and you look yourself in the mirror and you think, you have a feeling that you feel you're supposed to have been further off more than where you are now. And every time that feeling comes to you, I want you to look at yourself, either in your finances, either in your marital life, either in your career, either in any sphere of life that you feel this kind of emotion. The only thing that is causing you to feel that feeling is because there is a gap that is created in this place of you being able to get up and do what you're supposed to do. And most time when that feeling comes, a lot of us tend to look for who to blame. We look for who to blame for those things. We look for excuses. I remember those days in that time in my life when I was just constantly failing an exam that I'm supposed to pass. I started blaming myself. I started saying, oh, it's because of my background. It's because I didn't attend boarding school. It's because my daddy is not always there to always be helping me to do this. Or, I was always looking for reasons why I could not. I could not look inside and see that actually I am lacking something. And the thing that I'm lacking is nothing but the motivation. Being able to give myself the drive that I need to get things done without being forced or without being told to do so, by encouraging myself. And so every one of us, as we listen, and I want to just begin to look at whatever goal you want to have for your life, and we're going to be seeing some steps we can take to really, really help get the necessary motivation that we need to go over it. I shared a story yesterday for those of us that was able to attend. I shared the story about the Wright brothers. That the Wright brothers, every evening they go out for a walk. Their mom asks them to go for evening play. They keep looking and watching the sky, and they constantly see the birds always flying in the sky. And every time they see them fly, the question at the back of their mind was, why is it that humans being cannot fly as the birds? And they started watching and watching and watching. The reason why I'm going to say this is because it's going to be tied up to the first reason why you need to get yourself motivated. And one day, they decided to try their luck. And they did one kind of a mini mini trial. And when they launched that thing, they try and throw it all the way up. What happened? It came down. They now knew that actually the law of gravity is in motion. But today, if you see why humans cannot throw anything on the sky and come back and not come down, but the birds, once they pick, they come down, they fly on your tree, they pick the food they need to pick, they pick on the fruit, and here they go, keep soaring. So what they were able to discover that brought about the innovation and that ingenuity for the Wright brothers to be able to create the first airplane that humans were able to fly in the sky was because they were able to discover that there is a certain level, there is a certain height, there is a certain velocity, there is a certain frequency that when you throw an object up, it escapes the force of velocity, the force of gravity, and at that state, anything that is up there will continue to remain until it comes down again, where the force of gravity can also take effect. And that is why you can see the plane also landing momentarily like that. So I want you to see that the mystery and everything behind that ingenuity that we saw in the life of those two brothers was a question that drive them to want to ask. And so if you're ever lacking motivation, or you don't know how to get yourself motivation, the first thing that is lacking, you don't have clarity about your goal, about your future, about what you really want in life. If you have that clarity, or as a result of whatever happenings that life throws at you, it has a way of forcing you to begin to take certain choices in life that you want to use to correct. For somebody like me, growing up with all the pains that are, all the dysfunctionality that plagued my upbringing, it gave me a force of change that told me that, hey, every mistake that my parents did, that I told myself that I will never repeat that. I was so conscious of it that I constantly was asking myself that if I don't want to repeat the life that my parents have, and if I want to live a life that I will be able to give my children choices, there is something that I need to do, and that thing has to do with me starting to realize what are those things I need to start doing now that will avoid pain for me in the future. That in 5 years from now, if I complain, the future, the nation, everything is not good now. In 5 years from now, if I don't take the responsibility to change, what have I succeeded in doing? I have only succeeded in pushing my years of pain further into the future. And so I said yesterday that if you want to bring the future into the present, the only thing you have to do is to take action. Take responsibility for your life. Don't put the responsibility of your growth, of your life, of your future on the hand of the politician, on the hand of that lecturer, on the hand of your parent, or on the hand of whosoever that you think is responsible for your being. Because our background, we cannot choose it, but we have every responsibility to choose our future and where we want to go to. And that is why I want to encourage every one of us that the first thing to start yourself and to get yourself back on the track of being motivated is for you to first realize what is the goal. What do you want to do with your life? My standing up for the past 10 days here doing this live broadcast is because I decided I want to add value to my world. I want to see how I can be able to bring, with the level of knowledge and understanding that I've helped shift my understanding about what life is meant to be and how we are supposed to live our life as children of God, that are not just living for ourselves, but we want to make our life count, is to add value to others. And that very reason is why I am here, regardless of whether I have 10 people online watching, or I have less than 2 likes, or I have just 10. Whatever they likes it is not the real thing. That is not the primary motivation. And I want you to know also in your life, whatever thing you have set out to do, if you decide to base your decision or your action on what people are doing or what people will say, you will never get anything done. If I should look at what is happening, there are some people that are on live that they have thousands of people joining. If I go there, I am going to deprive myself of that growth that I want to see in my life. And so I so want to encourage you that first and foremost, the first thing you need to go through with regards to you when getting your momentum back, if you have ever lost it, is to reevaluate your life, reevaluate your goal, look at your life, assess it. Is this what you want? Are there rooms for something better and bigger than what you're experiencing at the moment? If you're able to locate any part and any area of your life that you can see more, that you know there is more in stock for you, then I ask, friends, it is time to now accept the responsibility to make that change happen. And no one is ever going to do that for you. No one. I have said it. No one. The reason why that is so is because if you look at anybody that is successful today, it is because they are hungry to make that thing to happen. It is not as a result of luck. It is not a result of maybe they were just lucky, it just happened. It is not chance. It is not luck. There was a part and a time in their life that they focused on that goal and they started initiating action. No matter how little the action was, till it gathered enough hunger in them that drove them to bring about the change that they are having in their life. So you and I must make up our mind to focus on that change we want to see, to be ready to take the action that is needed to bring us to that place that we are constantly seeing where we want to be. That picture is so strong in the back of your mind that nobody can just talk you out of it, that when you wake up it wakes you. I want you to imagine, I remember when we were in the university that time, and there was this guy in that department that time. The guy, just some few months before we got admitted into the university, the father passed. And so when the father passed, the boy had to all about his survivor in the university was just what his mom was able to gather. And when he was leaving, his mom was always trying to remind him, do you know that there's so, did you see all, you see how the house is, you see your family, you know, you don't have anybody that is going to, so that very experience in life, that guy, you will not see him wear anything other than two pair of shirts. You can name it, you can name the kind of trousers, one black and one gray. You know, you can so much predict his dressing. But I can shock you that that guy came out with a 2-1, second class upper in our faculty, in our department at that time. And I tell you, while every one of us we don't have this subject, we don't know, he was constantly the one that will organize tutorial. He's the one that will constantly get everybody to teach and to lecture. To he will just organize one thing that all of us we just gather on. And that ability to motivate himself was as a result of what happened. And I want you to see that if nobody around you is giving you motivation, the next point I'm sharing will help you. You need a community. You need a community. And when I talk about community, it can be in form of a guide. It can be in form of a mentor. It can be in form of you looking on the social media to surround yourself with people that you know they are going to where you are going. Because if you're able to get the underlying issue that why I'm lacking motivation is because I am not surrounding myself with people that are going to the same place with me. Some of us, when we do certain things, our family just look at us and say, Abi, she's crazy. She's just always locking herself in the house, always reading, always doing one video, always not going out. What is wrong with this girl? They don't understand you. They can't explain why you are living this kind of life. They just feel maybe something is happening to you. You are not okay. And everybody is going to party and you are just telling them you are not going, you are just, they may not be able to understand, but that is why you have to look at it. If you want to be a politician, you don't have any business surrounding yourself with people that don't have the ambition of being a politician. All you have to do is surround yourself with people that are having the same mindset, the same thinking, the same destination to where you are going. And if you don't have them as families, it's high time you go out there, and the world has so much become a small village that you can follow anybody from any part of the world and you can learn from their work, you can read their book, you can you can watch their video, you can follow them and ask them questions. This is the best way that you can, when you talk about reducing decades into days, condensing years into weeks, some of those ideas and those wisdom and those experience of those people will rub on you and it will count. It will count. And that is why if your goal is not motivating you, you must check it. Is it really am I really, is it what I really want out of my life? Many of us are constantly stuck out of life because we believe that because we have got to a part of career in life and we have leaned our ladder on that wall till. And there are times in our subconscious mind that we have a feeling that we need to move further. We have to move on. But we are not always ready, eager to embrace that change. We're always afraid. I want to tell you that there is a path you can take to begin to follow up that will help that transition to be possible for you. And I can tell you, with regards to my own life, I was leaning on a career that I felt this is be it. Also, I'll just need to continue like this. But I knew at the back of my heart that that is not me. When I was in the world of chemistry and I was doing and performing assay and chemical analysis of all the acid content of whatever pH or what have you that I was doing in the lab in that I was working with then, I knew that my whole life is not about working in the lab and shaking chemicals, beaker and mixing. And there's a part of me that knew that this is not my part. but I did not know best. So some of you may be listening to me now. That might be your experience. You know there is more to your life, but you can't explain how you can take the shift. You don't know how to navigate that part. You don't know how to pivot. This is one of the things you need to start with. Once you are able to navigate and you have seen that this is actually what you love and this is what you want to do, I don't want you to be stuck. I want you to start from this day to take the habit of to just read. I said it yesterday. If it's just 30 minutes every day, you don't have any business doing any other thing that is not touching on that goal, on that purpose, on that desire of yours. Can you imagine somebody that says you want to be a medical doctor and all you are reading, but you are just reading fiction. You are reading this storytelling time with what have you. You know you are reading, but that subject you are reading has no any relevance or any correlation with what you want to. And so that is why you have to make sure from the point and the time you wake up out of bed, you have to constantly, by decision, by design, by intention, fill out your plan for the day with activities and exercises that is going to touch on you being able to achieve that goal. I said I want to improve on my speaking skill. I want to be a world best speaker. I want to be able to, have relevance in this space. And can you imagine? What do I need to do? I started following people that I know they are great speakers. I started watching them every day. I listened to some of their videos every day. Sometimes there are groups on Facebook that talks about this. Coaches, people that want to be this. I join them. These are some of the things you can do. And also this community is here for you. We can lock hands together. We can work together to provide that needed environment that can sustain and help and enable our growth in life. And so I want to encourage you, start looking for that environment because it is going to help you. And also, yesterday I touched on it when we were talking about positive self-affirmation. And so those of you that did not get to watch yesterday, I encourage you to please go and watch that video. I was able to make a clear distinction between the just empty positive talk that we do, that we don't back with action, that eventually produce frustration in our lives. Many of us, we have been to gatherings to function, either religious or maybe motivational, and they just tell us so many words that we want. And when we are in that space, it's like all the energy and everything, the momentum we want is all with you. And when those words come off you and you get back to your home, you get back to your space, it's like everything was just stripe. You were stripe of every of those things. What happened? What happened? I want you to ask yourself. So this is the point I'm trying to stay. Whenever you go through that state, you must understand something. As humans, when you watch a video, when you get yourself exposed to something, there is a message that is being played at the back of your subconscious mind. And what that message tells your brain is that this is something you love, because your emotion and everything about you is sending a message that is in correlation with that state you are having. And so you see yourself jumping, shouting, moving every part of your body. So your brain is getting the correlation that this girl is liking this thing. And the same way, and when you get into that state and you are told to picture that future you want, that dream house, that dream office, that dream job, that dream relationship of yours, and you are picturing that thing, and before you know, it's like you are seeing yourself in that picture, in that state. Do you know what happened? You were able because of that energy that was in there, whether it was created by music, whether it was created by the words that you were listening to, or by the thing you watch, or it was created by quotes, maybe some of us, or documents, or anything that got you to that state. You have been able to bring the future into the present. What you need to sustain that reality is for you to now begin to work with that state of motivation. Surround yourself with that picture, so much so that everywhere you turn around you, that picture is so strong that there is no how anything can distract you from it. That is what is so key. That picture becomes so strong inside of you that there is nobody that can talk you away. And that is why that yesterday is being correlated with today. That's why when you wake up, what is the first thing that you stared at? When you stand beside your dressing mirror and you are making up and making yourself ready for the day, what do you see? And that is why it is good for you to have pictures. You can imagine somebody that's an athlete and want to win an athletic competition, and you can see just right in his room a big picture of one of the top first best world runners staring at him or her when you wake up. As you wake up out of your bed, you are just seeing that picture. Do you know what that tells you? Do you know what that does for you? Or you have a quote that you have written, and on your laptop or your computer, once you get to work, you just see it right away staring at you. So you can motivate yourself by intentionally putting in strategic places in your mirror while you are brushing your teeth the quote, you are seeing it. Or you have a kind of music that gets you into a state of flow. Friends, these are some of the things you can do to actually help yourself to remain in that state. Have a community, get the needed help, speak out, seek for a mentor. I am here. I have been able to walk myself through a journey of perfecting all that it has to do for me to be a life coach. And I'm willing to help you as you embark on this journey too. I am here for you. The last point I want to share has to do with you focusing on gratitude. Focus on gratitude and not on comparison. A lot of us is fond of that habit of comparing ourselves. What do you stand to gain when you compare other people's middle with your own beginning? I want to imagine when I started my YouTube channel a year ago, and I started, there are people that are having all the likes, they have all the crowd, everything. But if I have looked at them, I have used that yardstick to judge myself harshly and to promise myself that I can never achieve this thing, and I did nothing, I bet nobody will be here on this call with me watching me. I know that is possible. Thank you for joining, Omobaba. Thank you, Abibat. So I knew, but that understanding that I should focus on gratitude. Focusing on gratitude is not because you have arrived at your destination. Focusing on your gratitude is not because the bank account of yours has been loaded with money and you have all your desired, what have you. The gratitude is the fact that every day you were no longer where you were yesterday. That yesterday, today is better than yesterday. And if there's anything you want to promise yourself and you want to do, is to make sure no matter how little it is, massive, imperfect action. Imperfect action. I'm not looking for perfectionist. I'm not a perfectionist. I'm not looking, because every time you engage in perfectionism, you get yourself into overwhelm, you overthink, and paralysis of analysis will set in, and you get nothing done. That is where you dump it. You'll be waiting for, oh, I'm waiting till that thing is done. I'm waiting till I have all my I's dotted and all my T's crossed. And when you keep waiting for that perfect condition, it will never happen. And this is why some of us get into that state of demotivation, because the enemy will steal away the little energy that you have inside of you. So what do you have to do in order to avoid that? Make sure that you take action no matter how little. No matter how little, take action every day. I have talked about reading. Just read a chapter a day concerning any sphere. Google, download video, watch them, take notes, journal. Learn from people, learn from your environment, volunteer. When you see people that are doing what you love, don't just evil speak about them. Don't just hide in the secret and be condemning them. Speak out, seek for help. When you do that, there is no how you will not be robbed. There's no how their goodness and their greatness will not rub on you. That is how life is. And that is why, as species, the way God has made us, we are interdependent on each other. So that what you are looking for, somebody already got it. Somebody already got ahead of you. You just only need to go and seek help from that person. Somebody else need what you have at the moment, but you are thinking it's so small, you are not using it, you are not giving it, you are not sharing. And that is why if you don't share and you don't give, you don't look for how you can just impact value and give out of whatever you have to somebody else, it's going to lose its value. It's going to lose its verb. It's going to lose its goal. And what happens at the end of the day, you will condemn your blessing. You will feel you don't have. Whereas if you look deep, you will see other people that don't even have up to what you have. And that is why I have considered myself opportune And I will never take granted for granted every opportunity I have today, because I know there are people that are looking for the opportunity and they don't have it. And so me having it is a pointer that I've got all it takes to give back everything that I've so willingly been given. And finally, I want to encourage you. If there's anything you have a need for at this moment and you feel like you don't know who to share with, I am here to listen. I am your dear sister in prosperity and in progress. And I want to see you just giving me a shout out or a DM, whatever challenges you have. I am willing to have a one-on-one thought on one-on-one question and sit down time together. And I look forward to some of you that are joined today, coming on tomorrow to join me again in this capacity. This month of September, I look at the number 9. I know the number signifies fruitfulness. It signifies bringing forth. It signifies a new, bringing forth something new, a new planting, a new growth. And I decided all my own that what can I do to give back to my world with regards to every shift that I'm having. And I decided that a lot of time we don't practice self-love. We don't love ourselves. We give love to other people. We give attention to other people. We give all that we have. And tomorrow is going to be day 11. And day 11 we are going to be watching, and the topic of consideration is self accountability. Self accountability, that is what tomorrow is all going to be all about. And I look forward to seeing you. Please share this video to any friends of yours that you think this will equally benefit them. And if you have any question for me, I really and will love to hear from you. And also any aha moments you might have, any takeaway that this broadcast has given you, any understanding you have gotten, I would like to see it in the comments too. I'm so grateful and I appreciate your time. Thank you everyone. Thank you Abirat. Thank you Andrew. Thank you. Thank you, Lola Shurunke. Thank you, Folari, Miss Folari. Thank you, every one of you. And those of you that I'm unable to see your name at the moment, thank you, Nobu Jumi. Thank you very much. I appreciate your time. I look forward to seeing you. Thank you, Mrs. Felicia. Thank you very much. I appreciate your time. Thank you, Omo Baba. Omoba. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Wow, wow. Oh, I'm seeing the comment just now. You can use this energy to fight. All right, all right. Thank you, Omoba. It is well, yeah. Everybody has a part, and I am doing my part here. Everybody has a part. Please just make sure, no matter how little you have, every energy you have, make sure you are correcting something. Make sure you are making your light shine. Every one of us have a part of us that is been given to do for our world. Make sure you locate that part and shine it. We can always shine, and that is the beauty of the world, that every bird that you see fly in the sky, they have their space and they have what they have been called to do. And once you locate your place and you are able to do that, when you start in that space, in that figure, in that stature, you can command everything you want and they will come, because you always attract the kind of assignment that you have been given. And so I appreciate that comment, but I'm always going to remain on this lane until I'm given the next level of assignment. I hope I answered that question. Thank you very much for joining. I appreciate you. God bless you. I will see you tomorrow, same time. Bye. Have a wonderful evening. See you.